everybody, and welcome to Energetic Principles Monthly Horoscopes for September 2017. My name is Melissa LaFara, and I am an astrologer and tarot reader from San Diego, California. And in this video, we're going to discuss what is in store and what key dates to look for during this September period. So let's get started.
And may the stars be with you.
All right, Gemini Gemini Rising. What does September have in store for you? Well, the spotlight has now switched as the sun has moved into Virgo, which happened on August 22nd. And so your vitality and your awareness has moved into the area of your home and family and your own emotional foundations. During, a good portion of this month, you're working on being of more service to family. If you fell out of contact with some of your relations, now's the time to renew that. And also to get in touch with your own childhood emotional patterns and your emotional foundation, and whether or not that's serving you today. And if you have knee-jerk emotional reactions in some areas, when you think things are going to go wrong or whatever, and you tend to act emotionally in certain ways. So this is a time of year where you're getting in touch with your own emotional self. That being said, it's a good time to really focus and build on nurturing yourself and what it is that you need to make yourself, make that cranky baby a little more playful and joyful here. And this is also a time where you might be deciding to do a little work at home. I don't know if you've done any renovations or especially cleaning out things, tidying up and getting rid of all the stuff that you just don't need anymore and that does not serve you on a day-to-day basis. This is a perfect time to revitalize your home life and really clean it up for this year. So let's talk about some key dates to look out for this September. And the first one we're going to talk about is September 5th, when Mercury is going to go direct on the eclipse point of 28 degrees Leo. And so our minds are clear and we're moving forward. We've got Mars and Uranus on our side, so we're ready to break out in new ways and take action on certain things. So for you, that is going to be wrapping up how it is that you think about life and how able you are to communicate and speak your mind to other people. You've been doing a lot of work on that lately, and now you can see progress where you're back on track and able to express yourself. And if you've been learning new tricks of the trade or just learning things about yourself or just learning things in general, you can now utilize what it is that you have learned in order to go forward in a more detailed way with what it is that you're doing. Connections with others are going to be enforced. So if you've been a little hermity lately, now you can reach out to other people and get the conversation started again. But overall, it's just going to be fresh, new thinking for you and just a clearer perception of what it is that your mind sees for yourself. And then you're going to basically, it's going to move into Virgo, and your mind is going to be on these issues of home, family, and foundation that we just talked about. So the next date we have is actually the next day, and that's September 6th, and that's full moon at 13 degrees Pisces. And so we're going to have a bit of a breakthrough in that area. There's going to be a polarity happening, and there's going to be a need for release. And for you, that's going to be around your house of career and legacy and what it is, your career goals and how the public sees you and what you are out in society. There's probably going to be a breakdown around that. Maybe you've taken on too much authority or maybe too much responsibility lately, or maybe people are challenging your authority or you don't feel strong in that position, or maybe you have sacrificed a lot of things for your career recently and you're kind of overdoing that. So how can you balance those emotions out and balance those feelings around the the commitments that you've made and the decisions that you've made in your life and where that's led to you today. So you may have felt like you're really sacrificing yourself for the family or for work or for both of these things in tandem. So there's going to be a breakdown, but a breakthrough around those areas to where you're going to be emotionally more in touch with what it is you're doing as a career, and if that is really fulfilling for you. So the next day we're going to talk about is on the September 13th, which is we're going to have the Sun in Virgo squaring Saturn in Sagittarius. And the Sun squares Saturn a couple times a year, and these are usually, a few days of, feeling kind of the weight of the world, where we have some obstacles that get in our way, some things frustrate us, we have tough decisions we need to make, and we basically just have to stay patient and focused on what it is that we're going after, and to stay realistic and not pessimistic about certain things. And for you, that's going to be dealing with other people and your own emotional foundation. Being able to communicate to others and relate to others, but from an emotionally sound place. So you're probably going to get a lot of insight into what it is, childlike behavioral or emotional patterns, and realizing that certain emotions that you carry probably get in your way of relating with other people or making choices and decisions in your life. So essentially, others are going to be testing your emotional reflexes at this time. So just stay, just keep that in mind and don't go overboard, and don't necessarily throw a tantrum, but use this time to really get awareness around what it is your emotions, how your emotions really restrict you in a lot of ways. This sun versus Saturn is really going to tap into that for you. So the next date we're going to talk about is we're going to have a new moon in Virgo at 27 degrees, and that's going to happen on September 19th and 20th, depending on where you are in the world. And this is a time where we plant new seeds and begin to take action around certain areas of our life and initiate new projects. And it's in that same house that we're talking about Virgo the whole time, family, home, and that emotional foundation. So all this work you've been doing this month is essentially you're going to get that boost and that renewal later in the month. So just hang in there. So just know that, when we get to this date, essentially you're going to be regenerating your home and family, and what your home life looks like, and probably some of you might move home, or some of you might totally renovate and do some new things, and are over this stale space. Let's get it to what it is I need it to be, so I can feel more emotionally satisfied. This is also a time when you need to act on your own intuitive senses. If you sense something intuitively, take action on it and go forward there. But overall, this is a time where you, after all these challenges, you're going to be more secure with who you are and your emotional self. And so this is a revival in those areas. So lastly, we have the autumn equinox that's going to happen on September 22nd, when the sun moves into Libra, and where we have equal light of day and night. And it's just a natural change of release. It's a cycle where, fall starts. And so our spotlight is going to switch into areas of peace and harmony in just our social life. And for you, that's going to be centered around, how you seek harmony in your romance, in your love lives, or how you find peace in leisure time. And, you might have to take some more downtime now, or realize you're like, God, I need a moment, I just want to chill. So these are the things that are going to come up as we switch into this Libra season. So make sure that you're focusing on yourself right now, in your own heart, and what it is that you want. And you might have these beautiful creative urges that come up, and you should honor them, and, get that instrument out, or get that paintbrush out, or get the writing utensils, or whatever it is, and really dive into the creativity that is speaking to you now. But overall, you just might want to socialize more and have a little more leisurely time at your own pace, so that you can bring that kind of happiness and that joy back in your life. So these are the types of things you're going to think about during this September season. All right, Gemini. So what does the tarot have in store for you? Well, we have the Seven of Cups as the focus and the Five of Pentacles as our grounding. And so what that's really meaning is there's a lot of options on the table this month, and your mind is being overly active in certain areas, and you might be kind of stuck in this in-between spot of indecision in a sense. So making choices and focusing on what it is that you want is kind of key this month. You're going to feel inspired. Your imagination's going to be kicked up, but you might be tempted by things, and there might be kind of this elusiveness and these deceptions around you of what it is that is really of offer to you. So, I would suggest that you follow your dream, of course, but also make sure that that dream has the opportunity to actually deliver for you. Because right now you're kind of in a material hump, you're like, there's kind of a stagnancy there, and it's time to basically focus on the spiritual and transcend your own reality at this time, because reality might look a little not grim or anything, but it's just not that lively vision like you have with that Seven of Cups, where you see all these wonderful things, but then reality looks a little not anything like that. So there's a siren for you to let you know that might be true. Just know that any hardship that comes your way this month may be caused by your own illusion or your own distraction and not staying focused and making decisions that are that you need to make. It's time to get out of that indecision and basically cope with your own stress by taking action to change the situation. Don't get comfortable in this lack, essentially. Push yourself to focus on what it is that you want, make a decision, and then take action and go forth. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to connect with me to find out more or to get a reading, you can find me at energeticprinciples.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Energetic Principles. I also have a podcast with Shauna McGrath of Neo-Feminine Astrology, which is called The Feminine Principle, Astrology for Authentic Living. And that is a podcast that comes out weekly where we discuss what is going on in the stars, along with tarot cards and inspirational quotes. So feel free to stop by. You can find that on Podbean, iTunes, or YouTube. I'd love to connect with you and hear what you're thinking during this September season. So please comment below with what is going on with you. And if you want to stay in the know, please subscribe to my channel. So I'm wishing everybody a fabulous September and the month ahead. And as always, may the stars be with you.